My name's Dan Le Gresley. I am the guitarist and one of the songwriters and a singer for the soul band, The Milk. You know, we like to think of ourselves as a soul band, but we've kind of moved more and more towards neo-soul and jazz as we've developed, especially the jazz influence as we've developed as players and to keep things interesting. So I would say we're quite, we're a difficult one to classify, I think, but yeah, modern soul, I suppose, is what we do. We had tours planned. We had a tour planned for March and April, so that was then rearranged for October. Obviously, we had an album come out in January, so all of our plans for promotion and all that had basically had to be rewritten, how we were going to go about doing that. Also, communications with the label, with our agent, everything then had to move to online communications. And then the focus was like, well, okay, so how are we going to keep on, giving to the fans, keeping them engaged while we renegotiate new live dates, which it now looks like we've got rearranged for for May next year. It's just trying to stay connected and deciding what we wanted to do, because there's a lot of people that have been suffering through this, really suffering, people, key workers, NHS. So, in the grand scheme of things, our album, although it's very important to us, we appreciate it's a moment in time and maybe, we're not going to get the opportunity for this one. So actually it was like, well, we need to start thinking about writing another record because that's what we need to do next. A lot of it has been sort of, engaging the fans with live streams and stuff, but also trying to focus on what it is we want to sound like on the next record. What's the ambition, and how quickly we want to turn that around,
This is called Favourite Worry.
Cages was, again, it was a long, we don't rush to make albums. So it usually takes the last, it takes us sort of 3 or 4 years to get a record together. We're a bit slow, like old school like that. So this one was a real rite of passage. We produced it ourselves. I think it's a great sounding record. It does hint more at the jazz influence maybe than previous ones, and was an opportunity for us we limited the palette so there wasn't quite as much instrumentation on there. So horns and strings and stuff like that, which we'd used in the past, we tried to really bring it down to the core of the band. So I'll build you your home. We had no idea what was coming our way. We had plans to tour, we were getting bookings for festivals. So the summer was looking really, really busy. And really for us, that's how we build our people's knowledge of us, is getting out there and playing to them, converting crowds, then telling their friends. Obviously, it came as a bit of a disappointment to have, essentially, it just slowly eked away. It was like, okay, we're going to have to rearrange the tour, but we might still be able to do the festivals. Okay, we're not going to be able to do this festival. This festival's been cancelled. This festival's been cancelled. And it's like, so before you know it, it's like, okay, well, we're just going to write off 2021, and we're pretty much going to write off Cages as being a well publicised record, and it will just live there in our catalogue. I think if you're a songwriter or a musician, for the most part, that's just a lifestyle. Especially, I'm 37 now, so I'm, I have a piano downstairs, I've got guitars everywhere around the house. So whenever the moment of inspiration finds me, I can pick up a guitar and I can play it. And often from my perspective, that's how I prefer to work, rather than sitting down and going, right, I'm going to write a song. I live my life, and songs come to me at strange times of the day. It could be first thing in the morning. A melody might come to me when I'm, first thing in the morning, giving the baby some milk, or, whatever it is, or I might be humming something to him as a lullaby, and it is full like cheesy cliche. I go, oh, that's quite good. Being in a group of musicians like that, it's not just about creating music. It's not. It's about, it's a brotherhood, right? It's about you know, you make each other laugh, you make your lives better by being together, and also they help you deal with the stresses and strains of life. Music is a group sport. You know, it doesn't live in a vacuum really, unless you're a listener. But even then, that's why people go to see gigs, because they want to see people play it. There's still something intrinsically human about it, which is, you know, and that's why we love it, because it's never the same. And it is as simple as you say, mate. When you're in a room with other musicians, if someone's in the wrong place, that, you know, their mental mindset can have a whole knock-on effect with all the other musicians. Well, I make music because I want people to, I want to affect people. I want them to feel some kind of emotion, or maybe, you know, some catharsis, you know, something cathartic about, you know, they're going through a difficult time, and this song that I wrote, or we wrote, has helped them. I love the project of making a record, and then all of the business stuff that goes around, the planning, the videos, all that kind of stuff. And then I love touring. There's nothing better than playing guitar on stage and singing on stage and feeling connected to the band in a moment in time. You know, that's to me, that's what life's all about, right?